Sutra. Beings who steal the wealth and property of the eternally dwelling, including its grains, food and drink, and clothing, or who take anything at all that was not given to them, will fall into the relentless hell, where for thousands of billions of aeons they will seek escape in vain. Commentary. If there were beings who steal the wealth and property of the eternally dwelling, what items belonging to the temple do they steal? Money, grains, food, or clothing? Once a great Bodhisattva who made the vow, if there are people who committed the 5 severe, the 4 heavy, and the 10 evil deeds, I can save them. However, if they steal from the eternally dwelling, whether it be a blade of grass or a splinter of wood, I cannot save them because it is impossible. I can save those who have killed as many as 84,000 of their parents or committed some such heavy offense. I can save them. Using the power of my vow, I will save them from the hells. However, if they steal food, monetary goods, or even just a grain of rice from a temple, I cannot and will not save them. A Bodhisattva made such a vow. So stealing from the eternally dwelling is a gravest offense. As Buddhists, we must be very clear on this point. Without the permission from the monastery, do not take anything, be it valuables, grains, or food. If you do so, you will fall into the relentless hell, where for thousands of billions of years you will seek escape in vain. Sutra. Earth Store continued. Worthy Mother, beings who commit such offenses will fall into the 5-fold relentless hell, where they will constantly seek temporary relief from their suffering, but will never receive even a moment's relief. Commentary. Earth-Star Bodhisattva continued. Worthy Mother, or Lady Maya, beings who commit such offenses will fall into the 5-fold relentless hell. 5 kinds of relentless hells, where they will constantly seek temporary relief from their suffering, but will never receive even a moment's relief. Sutra. Lady Maya further asked Earth Star Bodhisattva, why is that hell called relentless? Earth Star replied, Worthy Mother, all the hells are within the Great Iron Ring Mountain. The 18 great hells and the 500 subsequent ones each have their own names. There are hundreds of thousands more that also have their own names. The relentless hell is found within a city of hells that encompasses more than 80,000 square miles. That city is made entirely of iron. An unbroken mass of fire extends for 10,000 miles above the city. Within the city are many interconnected hells, each with a different name. Commentary. Shakyamuni Buddha's mother, Lady Maya, further asked Earth Star Bodhisattva, why is that hell called relentless? To Shakyamuni Buddha's mother, Earth Star Bodhisattva replied, Worthy Mother, all the hells are within the Great Iron Ring Mountain. The 18 great hells are the largest, and the 500 subsequent ones each have their own names. Each name is unique. There are hundreds of thousands more that also have their own and different names. What is the relentless hell? The relentless hell is found within a city of hells that encompasses more than 80,000 square miles. That city is made entirely of iron. An unbroken mass of fire extends for 10,000 miles above the city. The fire that extends above the relentless hell shoots from the west side of the city wall to the east side, and from east side to the west side. Balls of fire Also shoot from the south side of the city wall to the north side, and from north to south. This hell is full of fire and evil beasts everywhere. That is hardly any empty place, any empty space. Within the city, many interconnected hells, each with a different name. Sutra. There is just one hell called Relentless. Its circumference is 18,000 miles. The wall of that hell is 1,000 miles high, totally made of iron and covered with a fire burning downward that is met by a fire burning upward. Iron snakes and dogs spewing fire rays back and forth along the top of that wall. Commentary. There is just one hell called Relentless. This hell is named Relentless because the sufferings there are incessant. Who are the souls suffering in the hells? Those who committed offenses. Typically, someone dies without being too consciousness of the pain. For example, someone is burned to death at once in a fire, or someone dies at once from the slash of a knife. Once they are dead, they do not notice any pain. In the hells, however, do beings notice their pain after death? They do not. But after they die once, they are born again, then die and are born and are reborn repeatedly. How do they come to life again? There are two kinds of wind in the hells. What are they? One is putrid and the other is fragrant. Both are known as clever breezes, which strangely enough blow and revive the dead. Those resurrected by the putrid wind are born again but ugly in appearance. Those resurrected by the fragrance wind are good looking. Most of those who are revived by the putrid wind continue to suffer, while those destined for the heavens are revived by the fragrant one. The fragrant breeze makes beings beautiful. In contrast, the putrid wind blows over and beings causes them to be ugly like asuras. As I described earlier, all their facial features bunched together as tightly as if they were in one company. Is that not ugly? Revival by the putrid wind occurs instantly, and there is not the slightest interruption in the suffering. Its circumference of this large city is 18,000 miles. The wall of that hell is 1,000 miles high. Because the wall of that hell is 1,000 miles high, all sunlight is blocked. It is dark in the hells except fires cast enough light to see by. The fires are the fires of karma, which roast and sear the skin, burning people as they suffer intolerable pain. Think about it. What do you do if you have to go there? No one is ever at ease in such a place. The 1,000-mile high wall is totally made of iron. Solid iron is symbolic of the firm and cold karmic obstacles that send us to the hells. Living beings' karmic retribution is so solid that when they get to that place, their hearts turn stone cold. They resolve any wish to compete for fame or profit. In such a place, there is only suffering. They experience no other thought. If you were there, a slap on the face would be much preferred over by burned by fire. Someone kicking you would be preferred over the pain of being beaten by a dog. You would be content then. And the city is covered with a fire burning downward that is met by a fire burning upward. Iron snakes and dogs at every one of the four corners in this 1,000-mile high city is a dog 800 miles tall. Each dog has 8 heads, each of which has 8 bull-like horns making a total of 64 horns. As the heads turn about, the horns become wheels of fire and knives, so that wherever one goes, one is slicing about and doing damage. Has anyone seen this kind of monster, a horned dog? What do you think of these animals? Go ahead and take a look if you wish, but let me tell you, you will never come back. There's no returning and no leaving that place. Going there is not like going to the movies. When you go to the movies, you can always walk out. But when you go into the house, there's no home to return to and no such freedom of choice. Not only do these dogs and snakes bite, they also spew fire. They have fires that burn their bodies, which make them smell so obsessively that anyone who smells it will vomit their very guts. This is not a pleasant feeling. You don't have to go there and look. Just imagine it and you know it is uncomfortable. These iron snakes and dogs race back and forth along the top of that house wall. Sutra. In that hell, there is a bed that extends for 10,000 miles. One person undergoing punishment sees his or her own body covering the entire bed. When hundreds of thousands of people undergo punishment simultaneously, each still sees his or her own body covering the bed. That is how retributions are undergone by those with the same karma. Commentary. In that hell, there is a bed that is not for beings there to sleep but to make offenders suffer. The size of this bed stands for 10,000 miles. One person undergoing punishment sees his or her own body covering the entire bed. When hundreds of thousands of people undergo punishment simultaneously, each still sees his or her own body covering the bed. That is how retributions are undergone by those with the same karma. These punishments are a result of bad karma. Sutra. What is more, their offenders undergo extreme suffering. Hundreds of thousands of yakshas and other evil ghosts display fangs like swords and eyes like lightning as they pull and drag the offenders with their brass-clawed hands. Other yakshas wield huge iron halberds that they use to pierce the offenders' mouths and noses or stab their bellies and backs. They toss the offenders into the air and then catch them by skewering them with the halberds, or they let them drop onto the bed. Iron eagles peck at the offenders' eyes, and iron serpents wrap around their necks. Long nails are driven into all their limbs. Their tongues are pulled out, stretched, and then plowed through. Their internal organs are gouged out, sliced, and minced. Molten copper is poured into their mouths, and their bodies are bound with iron hot. Responses to their karma go on like that throughout hundreds of thousands of deaths and rebirths. They pass through hundreds of millions of ends seeking escape in vain. Whether we are reciting a sutra, the Buddha's name, or a mantra, we use energy. How should we use this energy? This energy must originate from the Dantian and return to the Dantian. Dantian lies inside the navel.